So after the last episode, which was basically just a lot of me talking to you in various bedrooms, either in this bedroom or in the bedroom over there that I'm looking at now, but basically it was a lot of chatting. This one's a little bit more clinical. I'm going in for my first ever clinic and they remove the Hickman line. So there is a little bit of blood, let this be your warning. It's not especially gory, but if a bit of blood does bother you, then I suggest you give this one a miss. But feel free to give me a like before you close the tab. But yeah, I probably wouldn't watch it. There's a little bit where, you know, they slice through the skin, they stretch it apart a bit. Anyway, let's get going.
I guess really they could question it to say that you've not asked permission from anyone.
That's my wife and I having a discussion about whether or not anybody could take umbrage with my filming and say something. She has a slightly different perspective on filming in the hospital than I do, so we disagreed pretty much every single week when I went back. That was the first of many.
Right, so it is Wednesday the 16th of October, back at Derriford Hospital. So we are here for the first appointment since I was discharged. Bloods this morning, and then I gotta wait for the results to come back, just waiting a few hours. Then consultants this afternoon for clinic, I think. They're also talking about whether or not they're going to take out my Hickman line. I hope they do that this afternoon. My wife thinks I should ask them to do it this morning. And then if I need anything, I have to put it in through a cannula. But I'll do whatever they tell me to do. So anyway, that's the plan. That's the plan for the day.
How are you feeling today?
I'm tired today. And apparently I'm a miserable grizzly bear who's been hit on the head.
Way worse words.
Yes, well, I should have recorded the conversation. We had a fairly protracted discussion about how much of a prick my wife thinks I am.
You've been told off?
I disagree on your assessment of my a-holeness, but I'm assured I'm an a-hole. I'm sorry.
Very much still thinks I'm a prick, but married 9 years, going strong.
You can cut now.
I've got a fans. I've got a coffee.
Image of me, but I find it quite satisfying to watch the blood mix in with the clear liquid. It's kind of cool, reminds me of a film. Lots of little vials, no idea what the vials mean, but I know the colours on the caps indicate something in terms of what they have to do when they get to the lab. My wife may tell me. I may put the information in down below. I might not though, and it can just stay a mystery to all of us.
That's all good. We'll give it another little flash.
There you go.
Down a second.
When I first watched this and I heard her say about the flush, I can still feel it. I still feel like that coldness in my arm or here in my chest. I imagine what it felt like to have them do those flushes. They're going to do them like 200 times while you're in hospital. So you vividly recall what it feels like when it happens. The smell of the rubs, I can still... This exciting sequence is me trying to find something that I can eat in the hospital canteen, given that I'm on a neutropenic diet.
Chicken, can't have ham,
No cold meats.
can't have prawn, can't have mozzarella,
Certain kind of cheeses, big no. Mozzarella, uncooked especially, big no.
can't have bacon, can't have prawn, so no sandwiches, no chicken. You could have this one, sweet potato pakora. Chicken.
Regardless of the neutropenic diet, there are very, very slim pickings if you are vegan or vegetarian in this particular canteen.
There we are. Simply cheese.
I'm going to call it chemo cake.
Chemo cake.
My wife loved that chemo cake. I thought it looked kind of like a pride cake. It's very cool, actually. She looked forward to having that cake every single time we went up. In future weeks, I would break down the resistance and eventually convince her to go and eat in a restaurant or get a takeaway.
I'll get the head a little bit higher. I may have to lean a little bit with
No, you.
my hand on your
You do what you gotta do. That's fine.
Basically, what we need to do, when they put these lines, they have a cuff. Oh, it's here.
Okay.
Perfect. And around that cuff, your tissue grows. So
Yeah.
if I pull this now, it's not going to come out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I need to do a small cut parallel with the line. Free the cuff from the tissue that grows around.
Yep.
And then pull the line out.
Okay.
At the end, you will need a couple of stitches.
Okay.
It's all done with local anesthetic injection.
Okay.
I check if you're numb enough and start cutting and dissecting the line out and taking it out.
Cool.
And at the end we put the stitches and the dressing. The stitches will not be resorbable. So are you coming back to us?
Back next week.
Good. 7 days to 10 days, depends on how quickly you heal.
Okay.
We can take those stitches out.
Okay, doke.
All right?
Excellent. Thank you.
Good. Let me
Okay, so they're about to start doing the Hickman, and I'm awful. The doctor who did it, she was really lovely, but I don't remember her name. I'm really, really bad with names. There is a little bit of blood, so if you've got this far and you've decided the blood is not for you, turn back now. Otherwise, I've let the sequence run fairly long. I've probably cut it down to about 1/3 of its usual, like the actual time it took. But I've kept in things where she's describing what she's doing, or when her and my wife are discussing medical things generally, even if I don't understand them, or you don't understand them, I've kept them in. And I've kept stuff in where the doctor is just chatting about stuff generally, or I think the conversation is interesting or funny. So prepare yourselves, there's going to be a little bit of blood and lots of a small, tiny, hairy chest. So let's begin.
Oh, that's close. That's... Okay, thank you.
Intrusion in his... This is the clinic, okay? So this may sting, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
If you scream, it's gonna be on camera. Needle coming in.
Remember to breathe. Breathe through your nose, out through your mouth.
Like I said, like 10 videos ago with the Hickman, that stuff does sting going in. It is not comfortable. But I would absolutely choose that particular sting to feeling anything when they are slicing through me with a scalpel.
To do it from this other side too.
That's alright, no, thank you.
Is it still stinging or
No,
is
it's
starting
okay.
to?
No, it's okay. It started, yeah, it was much better on the second one than the first.
Okay, good. Fine. So in general, this is enough, but we'll see at a later time.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you. Stephen, stop now. It's okay. You just got to remember to restart because you just sort of stop and then go.
Yeah, I definitely haven't missed my calling.
I always secretly hoped you might be a useful second shooter for me, but there's no chance of that.
There's zero chance. I actually can't think of anything more boring.
I know loads of husband and wife teams that work really well.
Yeah, it's not for me.
I don't think you're gonna see a lot in that position.
It looks all a bit train spotting.
Perfect day. Drink sangria in the park.
Well, I admire the movie reference. Oh, hello.
It's your big bold head and
Or just this big tic tac head.
Now I'm just gonna touch you with something sharp. So, no, ignore that. Do you feel this?
I can feel it, and it's not sharp.
Okay.
Felt it a little sharp there on one of the pokes.
If they poke you with those things and it is spiky, even a little bit, tell them. They will give you more. It's not some sort of rationed system. Much better that you tell them now and complain a little than scream as they do the big slicing later. I say this as a man who has had an adult circumcision and had to have about 14 of those going into his penis. So always tell them it's always better than what could come later.
what's the other one? Not an idiom, it's...
How is this?
Yeah, you're okay.
How is this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this okay?
It's okay.
Alright?
I'm not looking, but it's okay.
Fine. No, tell me if you feel anything funny. You don't need to look.
You will know because I will make a loud noise.
Just make sure you don't make me jump.
I don't really understand why it has to be a tunnelled Hickman rather than a central line. Because it's not in for very long, is it?
No, but I think it is a central line, but it's a tunnel.
Tunnelled, yeah.
If you put the other one, it hangs on your neck, because that's what they do. They go through the neck and then they tunnel it. And it hangs and it hangs, and it's always the risk of coming out or causing you more troubles than you
Did you not
need.
do like a subclavian central line?
I have no idea what being tunnelled means, or what subclavian means, or really anything they're talking about whatsoever. But I keep it in on the off chance you understand, and the off chance you wish to go and research. That's the stuff they were talking about. Strangely enough, actually, literally this morning while I was getting stuff ready to put the battery in for this camera for this shoot, I found this in my... I found this in my bag. So, apparently I had literature about this. It doesn't look like they tell you what tunnelling means, though, and I have tried to look. But anyway, let's continue.
We do PICC lines.
Okay.
That's the central line that you go through the peripheral vein, but they have maximum 2 lumens. You were unlucky to have 2 lumens. You should have had 3, as you know.
Yes, I was unlucky. Yes, it was a cock-up.
Yes, I do know that.
So
yes.
that was one of the
Very
main
frustrating.
reasons why you should have, have a central line, because they can't do double otherwise. You could have had a PICC very easily. Alright, let's see how numb you are around here. Is this alright?
Yeah.
Is this alright?
Yep.
It's weird seeing it being done in your husband.
I think it is weird to see it done on anyone, especially if you don't do it. If you just watch it, it's a bit horrible if you think.
The
You
footage.
will have to look if you are if you are filming it.
Yeah, if you're gonna edit, you're gonna have to watch it.
I know, I'm not looking forward to the footage of the Hickman going in.
Oh, you've done that too?
Oh yeah, she was really close.
I don't really like watching it. It doesn't bother me hugely, but I don't like it. The bits that make me go "Grr" are when they stretch the sort of the incision open. But now it's 4 months later, and all I have is a tiny scar, which I'm going to show you. Here, this tiny little scar is all that is left. So, whatever you may think of the Hickman process, it doesn't really leave much of a mark on you, and absolutely worth it in terms of the process and how much easier it makes things.
I don't know, I think this is slightly worse.
I'm not looking.
Pain-wise or discomfort-wise, I meant. I think to
Oh,
watch
yeah,
is
yeah.
probably a bit worse because you see dissecting a little bit under the
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah, I'm just conscious not to get this on the sterile film.
Yeah, don't touch the stomach.
So this is the cuff, okay?
Okay.
And doesn't need a lot of loosening. Good. I will try, and then I'm just gonna pull the line out.
You do what you gotta do.
Right?
Cool.
I don't want you to talk. Just right. Ready?
Watching that bit is weird. Just they pull out this great big long spaghetti thing from inside your. Oh, it is a bit strange. I'm gonna watch it again. Show again.
I felt it was weird.
No, I'm not doing it in a very artistic way. They are proper suture, but
That's all right.
I'm not doing it artistically. Is this all right here?
You carry on. It's alright, no, you don't need to be artistic, that's okay. Are you sure you're aiming at the right thing? Like, I feel like you're...
Getting your face as well.
Well, you don't have to get my face, get the thing. My face isn't interesting.
Who wants to watch this though?
Don't know. Maybe nobody. Probably nobody.
Yeah, you can watch.
When you are bloodthirsty, you can have a look at your own blood. So this is the part where usually the surgeons do the stitches using the instruments. I'm gonna do the old-fashioned way.
They were absolutely fine. I don't know what she was saying. I think she was just conscious that she was on camera.
You won't like that they cut your skin though. Okay. He's so upset yesterday when I told him.
He doesn't know you're having the line out.
He knows it's coming out. He loves all things clinical.
I'm sure.
And he loves the body, but he does not like blood.
Charlie has no interest in the vlogs whatsoever at the moment, even when he's in them, just doesn't care. I'm hoping / imagining that when he gets to be a teenager, he might be a little more interested, and if nothing else, he probably won't like me all that much by the time he's 14 or 15, and will derive some small joy in watching me suffer.
Or
To be honest,
being
as a
cut.
child, I was terrified of blood. If I would have
Right.
cut myself, I would have run, not even looking, with the blood pouring down my leg or something. Just make it stop. I don't know, somehow. When you do to other people,
Yeah,
it's
other
not
people,
the
it's
same when
fine.
it's happening to you. Sorry about that, I'm not that cool. Is this alright here?
Yep.
You're recording it?
Well,
Apparently. I'm recording everything apparently.
Hello.
My wife sounds very dismissive of the filming, and she was, quite a lot. It annoyed her. That being said, she was the one who sort of really supported the idea of me doing it. She was really, really in favour of it. I'm ringing again. Why am I so... I'm never this popular. This is 4 this morning.
no, that's what I was saying. My suturing skills are not the best in the world. Technique. So I'm using the usual tailor method of doing those.
Are you in focus?
She was not in focus.
Are you sure? Because sometimes it'll focus on the wrong thing.
No, she is.
Tell it sometimes.
You know that just from looking from the lateral.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, no, she
yourself.
doesn't find it at all interesting. So sometimes she'll just sort of hold the camera and
Just
be looking at my
look
nose.
through the lens.
Yeah, it has no interest.
See, already my hand's going down. It's like shaking.
We use 2 hands. There you go.
I couldn't put my hand in my pocket. It could be my pager because I had to deal with one of the on call. My sterile fingers in my pocket. See which one?
Yeah, can I set up now?
Yes.
Excellent. I apologise.
Don't worry about that.
There
we'll
was
change it
sweatiness.
It's not. But backwards.
What do you mean back?
Because you're getting dressed, not taking
Oh, okay, so do. It's not like a Chippendale. There is no world where my tiny spook chest is revealed anywhere within half a mile of a Chippendale.
I can't figure out. I'm not smart enough to figure out that backwards. That tune.
Nice they sound though. It's annoying though. I've thought like whenever I come in for bloods now they have to cut me every time, which is
Cut you.
they have to stab me. Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake! Why won't you work? You piece of shit. There, that's what I want. Just do that. Just do that. You fucking bollock. Ah! Well, that's not the best, but it'll do. Okay, so forgive the not very good camera position. I've just spent some time fighting to try and set it up and failed miserably. And the camera didn't record it. It was good and bad. It took ages to see the reg.
This was my first one, so I didn't know. What I would come to discover is that even though the appointments themselves are only about 10 minutes long, the whole day takes 5 to 6 hours. So you arrive in the morning, you have to park and walk and all that kind of stuff, and then you have to go for bloods. Bloods can take 20 minutes, half an hour, even 40 minutes to wait for. Then you sit down, 15 minutes for them to be done. Then you go off and you have to wait for the bloods to run through the lab. That can be 2 to 3 hours. Then you get back and you have to wait for the consultant or registrar to be available, and you have to be obviously at the right point in their clinic list, and there have to not be any hold-ups, all that kind of stuff. So it's a long day. Old Chris doesn't realise that every single appointment will be this way, and he is hopeful that it will be very fast in future. He is wrong. They work very hard, there's nothing else they can do, but he is wrong and needs to know better.
But he was very nice, so the bloods were good, neutrophils were looking good, sort of almost sort of normal levels. HP was down, platelets were up a lot though, so all was looking good. And he said that even though my transplant nurse had said it was going to need to be once every single week, he is happy for me to come in every 2 weeks unless things change. So that's really good, which is worthwhile. So the line is out, which is cool. Blood's taken, all that kind of stuff. Just at pharmacy now, picking up my stuff. So I've got some anti-sickness to go home with, some Frezabins like the shakes to go home with. But fortunately, that's it for 2 weeks, which is really, really good. So cool, the day is done. We'll be leaving.
That is the pharmacy at Derriford Hospital. It is always crazy stacked out busy, like all the time, and it's really small. Like when you go in there to pick up stuff, it can be like a 40-minute, 50-minute wait, and like you're with lots of people who are sick, so it's like a tiny hot box for bacteria and stuff. Yeah, be ready, or wear one of the masks like you're preparing for coronavirus.
10 o'clock, Wednesday the 16th of October. Obviously, you would have seen earlier I had the Hickman line removed. You have to forgive the slightly different setup and the toplessness.
Nonsense. I know you like the toplessness.
It's not some sort of terrible boudoir style setting. I just wanted to show that I had to change the dressing earlier on from the great big sticky pad that they put on. My wife had some discussion with the doctor who was removing the line, and basically it started to bleed earlier on, so I should have filmed it, but I didn't. No, it wasn't too much, it wasn't loads of it, but I had to take it off, and it was quite painful, obviously, because the stickiness had stuck to the sutures themselves, and so that was a bit ouchy. Anyway, we put these smaller things on, and it all seems okay. Sorry, breathlessness is a thing now. Apparently, I walked up 2 flights of stairs earlier on and was exhausted. It's worth saying earlier on, absolutely wiped me out. Like, you don't need to remember how little you can do and how little you've probably done for a few weeks prior. So, you know, basically it was an hour and 10 minutes in the car up, hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and a half on the way back. And obviously the time in the hospital, my wife kind of let me nap. I kind of dozed on the way back home, but I didn't sleep throughout the time otherwise, but I was completely shattered and walked around like a half asleep zombie, and was told by most people I meet, except the doctors, who said I was doing very well for a transplantation. They were very impressed.
The doctors always said that. It was quite nice, really. They're used to dealing with cancer patients, so my responses, by comparison, were fairly good. So I think I did, to them, actually look healthy. To everyone else, I looked like a horrible, sullen, sunken-eyed Skeletor peanut. The doctors were always very complimentary.
Well, my wife and people I knew said I looked like shit. So yeah, you need to kind of get used to that. Realising how much, obviously, my hair is still falling out, you kind of continue to molt everywhere you go, and I'm assured that all of the hair that's currently, so it's weird at the back, if you look, it's kind of started growing back, but that's all dead. Like you can pull it out and stuff, and that's going to happen for a little while yet. Head is quite sensitive, yeah, so going to probably be investing in some sort of chemo hat.
Never bought a chemo hat, just ended up buying normal hats. Obviously you can't wear those inside, so shine.
I need to reposition my mic, which is, why are you pointing that way? How strange. Go this way. that's pretty much it for the day. So Hickman line removed. 2 weeks now until I have to go back, which is cool. I mean, I don't imagine I'll be filming all that much now that I'm home. I think it'll be fairly irregular, which is really good. And but I'll let you know if something happens. Otherwise, yeah, see you later.
And finished. So yes, there we are. The filming does stay irregular after this. I cover quite a lot of time in a short little film, but I go back to hospital within a week. This one ran a little bit longer than I expected. The footage from the Hickman removal was actually quite good. It wasn't as dark and dingy as the first one. It was very moody, almost like scary lighting. But this one was quite bright and airy. You could see what they were doing. All very straightforward, all very painless. I think I already showed you the scar. For the eagle-eyed amongst you, you'll see that I'm wearing a different Star Wars t-shirt today, different geek tee, because I couldn't film yesterday. My wife summoned me downstairs. So I'm finishing another day. Just to show you today's input, we have Darth Vader, Kylo Ren. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. There's not a huge amount more to discuss there. You know, it came out, it was okay, everything is fine. Next one, doctors, then that's it. And then the episode after, I'll be back in hospital. So, thank you very much for watching. As ever, it's very, very much appreciated. As ever, I will very, very kindly beseech you for a like and a subscribe. They mean a great deal to me, thank you. It's a really lovely motivation to carry on doing this kind of thing, to be honest. I get to a point where sometimes I do these things, and I'm just yakking. Like, my wife, I think, has got tired of watching them, and so I can only imagine what all of you think when I spam the Facebook pages, or where if you see it pop up in your subscription email from YouTube. Anyway, I will see you later. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Why am I? Who's calling me? Hello. She was said. The bit that makes me fun. I'm hoping. Hello. I can come and help you. Yes. Bums. Oh shit! You were still rolling. Bums. That. Very much still think it could be a mistress. I mean, when she said that there's a no certain kind of cheeses. In future weeks we would graduate. Okay, so they're about to start doing the Hickman. They're about to. But we will. You. Yes, I was unlucky. Yes. That is the pharmacy at that. Hair dropping out stops a couple of months after. Oh, there's nothing on my screen. This is no good. Hair dropping out stops. When does it stop? Never bought a chemo. Never bought it. So with this one, ran. So this one rang a little bit long. Rang. And I, you know, and I just it feels.